I think Marvel's really trying to build that endgame vibe. And remember out there, everybody, rumors aren't facts, leaks aren't confirmations. You never know what's real nowadays. School's in session. I'm Mr. Guzman. Welcome to the classroom. Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit, do a little news update. I want to talk about some rumors, some possible leaks, and some things we might be seeing in Avengers Doomsday. Mainly the trailer. The trailer is what everyone's talking about right now. Last week there was a report from some of our really good leakers in the business saying that last week Thursday, so a few days ago, that the Avengers Doomsday trailer was going to release and was going to be a secret and it was just going to come on the internet randomly. After reports originally saying that the Avengers Doomsday trailer would first be seen before Avatar Fire and Ash, the third installment of Avatar, in the theaters, like the good old days. Kind of like when The Phantom Menace first came out, and I want to say it was Titanic. And it released right before Titanic, before YouTube and all this stuff like that. And I remember reports of people like get in line to get a ticket to watch Titanic just so they can watch the Star Wars trailer and then leave the theater after that. Maybe they, paying full money just to see the trailer. I thought that was kind of cool, and I think you might see that again. I think they're trying to create that hype again. So I'm going to talk about why that might work, why that might not work, and some things that are cap and not cap about what is going on with this trailer. Let's talk about the lesson plan for the day, the agenda, if you would. First thing, what we know. 2, what the rumors are saying, and are these leaks real or are they not real? Cap or no cap? And remember out there, everybody, rumors aren't facts, leaks aren't confirmations, but let's break down this little media literacy lesson for you guys and let's see what is going to really happen with this trailer, everyone. All right, first thing, what do we actually know? We do know that Avengers Doomsday, is positioned as a major saga-level event. This is going to be kind of Infinity War-ish, and I think the next one, Secret Wars, will be more Endgame-ish. That's what I think. Anyway, we do know Marvel's clearly in course correction mode. They've had some dips in their sales. They had change in leadership, talking about Bob Iger, the Disney leadership, and a little more hands-on with Kevin Feige. The last few movies, really good movies, right? Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, fantastic, pun intended. Oh! And they didn't make a ton of money. Thunderbolts was really close to breaking even. Fantastic Four made money, but they didn't really make, again, a fantastic amount. Boo! Boo! And right now, there's not a lot of marketing yet. And that kind of seems intentional. I think Marvel's really trying to build that endgame vibe, making us wait even just for the trailer. They want to make this an event. I really liked how they did the chairs, the 27 chairs or so, through that thing every 15 minutes, making an announcement. Different kind of marketing, different style. I thought it was fun. I was excited. Every 15 minutes I heard a little music and I got another name. I was really into that. And, I'm down to try something different, man. And just right now online, there's so much of this trailer discussion. When is it going to drop? Is that leak real? Was that an AI picture from behind the scenes? Or was that a real picture from behind the scenes? All this kind of stuff. It just shows that Marvel fans are hungry for some real good Marvel content. Not just some random stuff that has a Marvel sticker on top of it. Something that we know is going to be quality. Man, we know we got Robert Downey Jr., we know we got Russo's, and a lot of other people coming in. And we know that if those guys are involved, so far we haven't been let down before, and I'm excited. Ever since Captain America Winter Soldier up all the way to Endgame, the Russos have done a great job. Let's talk cap or no cap. So is Marvel being quiet because they're nervous about this rollout of this big movie that kind of a little bit of a make or break, if you would? I think that's cap, man. I don't think Marvel's nervous at all. I think they just have a different idea. They want to try to market this a little different and bring this to the fans in a fun way that's going to create some hype. Again, that Star Wars original prequel trilogy hype, man, that was really big. Whether you like those movies or not, it was all people were talking about in early 2000s. And I think that's what we're trying to do again here. But let's talk about the rumor mill. There's rumors of 4 different teaser trailers that are going to happen for this. And they say they're from different people's points of view. So I do believe that No Cap is going to be originally before Fire and Ash, the Avatar movie. Again, you got to sit in the seats. You got to watch it the first time. That old style nostalgia, that old style getting hyped for things. And I'm in for that because I'm an older guy. So, that's what I like. And I believe there will be 4. I think it's going to be 4 different points of view. 3 main different character point of views, Doom being one. I believe Thor might be the other one. And I believe that, again, rumors out there that I think Captain America Chris Evans, even though he wasn't announced in the original shares, is going to be in one of these trailers. I believe so. That's just my opinion. IMO. And the 4th one, I think, is going to be more of a general trailer for the audience, like a normal looking trailer, with everybody in it, not from anyone's particular point of view. That's what I think. If the question is, will this Doomsday trailer only happen in theaters? I think that's no cap. I think it's going to happen. It's going to start that way. However, you can't sustain that long term. Within 5 minutes of it airing the first place, wherever it's New York or wherever it might be, there's going to be some phones in there. There's going to be some people with their smartwatches. There's going to be ways that people are going to find a way to record this and leak it online. Again, I try not to watch that because I don't want to be spoiled by leaks. I want it the way that the Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige wanted to roll out. That's what I'm going to try to do. Again, today, I'm not going to talk about much spoilers. There's going to be one rumor I'm going to talk about, and I will have a warning right before that, just so you know. But I don't think it's sustainable. I think people are going to record it. They're going to find a way to get it online. There's going to be leaks, at least that first day. If you're in the theaters that first day to watch some Avatar, you're going to be one of the first people to see it. And the full screen, full surround sound, and, and with other Marvel fans, hopefully in the audience, going crazy and having a good time when they see some of these things in this trailer. You can't stop the internet, man. People just be putting things online. Not on this channel. I don't put leaks on this one. I might talk about it a little bit, though. Warnings coming up if we do. Like, when is it going to be officially on Marvel's website, the trailer I'm talking about? Because we know this Thursday, Friday, depending where you live, it's going to be coming out. I think they're going to do that 4 trailer thing, and each week there'll be a new version of that trailer coming out. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. Again, POV, 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 everybody. That's what I think for the 4. And by doing that, you're going to have fresh stuff out there, but every time that next week is going to be fresh for a little bit, only in theaters for a little bit, then unfortunately I believe things will be leaked. So in a way, it's kind of a cap because the internet won't allow it to be just in theaters. That's what I think. So cap on that one. If you've been on the internet, you've probably seen a lot of Captain America thumbnails if you're talking about the Avengers Doomsday trailer. So with that, because there's a leak, but we're not sure if it's AI, if it's real or whatever, or just old footage. But there's a leak that, again, this is the warning, spoiler warning, put it up there. Spoiler, possible spoiler, because this is just a rumor of a leak. So this is a double thing, but it could be real. It could be real. So the reason I think it might be real is, if you know what I'm talking about, the original teaser leak is that for example, Twitter is scrubbing the internet of all these leaks. So I want to know if they would be scrubbing things or taking it off the internet if it wasn't real. So I kind of think it's real. That's just one man's opinion again. So what I'm talking about, again, spoiler right now, we have the warnings, and now here we go. Here's what they're saying happens in the trailer if the rumor mill and the leaks are saying happens. They say that we're on the very last scene of Endgame. Remember the last scene? We had Peggy. We had Captain America, Steve Rogers, finally having their dance that they were set for their date back in the 1940s. They listened to that song, that nice little old ditty, and then credits, right? That's it. So they say that the rumor is that the trailer is going to be starting on that same house, popping, zooming right in, and then we see them hanging out. We see Captain America putting something down. picking up a baby, and they're like, is that Cap's baby? Must be. Why else would they show that baby? Other rumors, again, different but similar to this leak, is that that's the same way it starts, but Loki shows up. And Loki's like, hey, man, when you came over here, you kind of broke the timeline. I got to come see you now. So there are I'm talking about two different rumor leaks, and basically they're very kind of similar. So maybe they're matched up. Maybe it's just one or the other. But again, we're supposed to see some Chris Evans, who was not, again, one of those names that we listed back in the big chair announcement, right? So that would be a big surprise. And I think makes sense, right? I think it would be really cool for the character of Steve Rogers, because if you think about it, Endgame, when he stayed back after he dropped off the stones, Captain America Steve Rogers made the first decision that was selfish for himself that we saw in the MCU. His selfish decision was, I'm going to go back, take care of everything like I always do, help everyone else out. But when I'm done, I'm going to go stay in my original timeline. I'm going to go to 1940 some odd, whatever, meet up with Peggy and go hang out and live a good life and just hang out and look like Joe Biden in 70 years or whatever it might be. I think it would be really cool for thematically with the story that Steve's one time he does something selfish for himself, kind of breaks the universe and causes basically Doctor Doom to be a thing. I think this is no Cap. I originally thought Cap being in the trailer was Cap. See what I did there? I know, another pun intended.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Captain America is going to be in this trailer. Even though it wasn't announced, I think that's the big reveal, the big mystery box, if you would. So, no Cap. Cap's going to be in this trailer. I believe so. At least the first version of this trailer. And in the movie. That would be great. I think multiversal Loki's going to show up in there, take a break from this thing and go check out with Steve, and something's going to be going on. Because if you did watch the Loki series too, it looked like Peggy Carter was in the TVA being arrested, or someone that looked just like her, if you want to look that back, the very first episode, season 1 of Loki. So I think no Cap, Loki's in this too. Because I more want to believe that. Because I love Loki series. I love the Loki show. I love all Asgardian things. Thor's my favorite hero character. Loki might be my favorite anti-hero / antagonist type character. Other than Namor. Namor was pretty sweet in that too. Let's talk about a little bit more from these 4 trailers that could happen. Again, pretty much non-spoiler. This is just what I think from what I've been hearing online. That could be it. If there are 4 perspectives, I think it's going to be 3. 1, Captain America. If it is a true leak, I think that's the first version. The second one, I think, will be from Thor's. Because Thor, again, big guy, Infinity War, that was one of his most powerful and biggest quests, I think. And then we have Doom. I think Doom's perspective. I think we're going to see why he's the way he is, how he branches off a little bit, a little teaser. I don't think they're going to explain fully why he looks the same as Tony. There's a lot of theories out there, adoption theories of Tony Stark, multiversal theories. We'll do that with a different video. The last one I think is more like a team perspective, like a regular trailer, the Avengers perspective. Maybe even Shang-Chi and maybe some Fantastic Four kind of up in there, and everyone else that was mentioned in these chairs we keep talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these chairs, there was a big deal reveal of the cast for Doomsday with some chairs. Look it up, right? Chairs Doomsday in Google. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the expectations for this movie trailer. We're really in the trailer. I'm not even jumping deep in the movie yet because that is going to be like a much longer and different video. So let's talk about it. I think it's going to be the trailer kind of that darker tone when it has Doom's one. I think it's going to be hopeful when we see Cap, if we see Cap again, if we see Thor. I think that'll be more hopeful. But the Doom themed one, I think it's going to be dark, kind of like that Age of Ultron one we had that Pinocchio strings on me kind of vibe. It was kind of freaky, and it was pretty cool. I thought it was even a little cooler than how the Ultron was in the movie. So I think it's going to be just like some scenes, couple, maybe a line of dialogue here, a line of dialogue there, I think from the past. And then there's going to be a few new things kind of silently revealed, whether it's a baby from Steve Rogers, maybe it's the mask coming off and you're seeing part of Tony's face, be a little Wolverine or Spider-Man tease. I mean, I'm going to throw it all out there. Maybe, maybe not. That one, again, that would be more my opinion, not really based off any rumors I've heard so far. My main thing is, will this feel like an event, like an old Avengers event or Star Wars style event when the trailer comes out? And I say no cap. I think people are getting excited for this. Like, they haven't been in Marvel for a while, even for Fantastic Four. I think the closest thing to this excitement would be Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth one that's coming out pretty soon in, I believe, this summer. That will make some hype, but not quite like this. I think this is going to be a different level. It's going to be great for Marvel. This is going to be really what Marvel needs right now. Remember, you never know what's real nowadays. Even those cast photos they showed behind the scenes, they had pictures of like Mystique and Magneto and Fantastic Four guys together. I think those were AI personally. They might not be, but I personally think those were AI. I think some of these little leaks of Steve Rogers and stuff might be real. That's what I think. And until Marvel puts something on their official Marvel account or on Disney Plus or something like this, it's just speculation. Everything is a rumor. Everything is a leak. It could be AI. It could be real. We don't know. One thing I do know about trailers like this, these really big ones that they're worried about getting out, if you get the file or whatever have you now at the movie theater, there's a timestamp in there, coded in there, that you can't watch it early. So if I was just like some random employee there and I was like, hey, I want to check this out, I don't care about this movie theater, you can't do that. The old days you had a tape, right, or a reel, and you can just play it. Now it's like, coding and stuff, man, cybersecurity. So I think that's the case as well. So again, until Marvel posts anything themselves, remember, like I said, it's all speculation. Cap or no cap? What do you believe, man? Which rumors do you think is real? Which ones do you think are false? Let me know in the comments. I would like to keep this discussion going as we get closer and closer until Avengers Doomsday trailer day. And I want to talk a little bit, later on and in the comments about our expectations to what the reality is. That might be a great video too. Like, what do you think? What do you want to happen? And what do you think really will happen? And I'm excited whether it shows up online from Marvel.com. Oh, there's the bell. Or if it shows up through Fire and Ash. Either way, I'm going to check it out. And I hope you guys check it out too. And I will see you in the comments, and I'll see you next period.
Always got mad when the class was dismissed, but when it was a session, I always had a question.